Antarctic humans.
That's right. They're a far more advanced offshoot of the ancient polar hominids. Okay. They've been there for centuries. Okay. They never leave this area because they have no reason to, right? They are biologically wired to thrive in this much colder and desolate climate. I mean, look, they're basically just like us, right? But much differently featured. I mean, snow white hair, very pale skinned. And look, they not only exist, but buddy, they are thriving in a full-blown civilization that pretty much predates everything we know. The higher ranking families of these Antarctic humans have basically controlled this region of land for centuries, right? They are in control of precious minerals that can only be found within this region of the world, right? And so think about it. This is why we cannot go there, right? Our leaders don't want them finding out about us, and they don't want us finding out about them. And so you basically have this generational kind of standoff in which we sort of do business with each other while simultaneously keeping this entire civilization out of our realm of understanding. I'm going to go ahead and say this is a joke for entertainment purposes only, right? For my safety.
You're telling me there's Antarctic human colonies.
Right.
And we've encountered them?
Yep. Buddy, look. Just look at the timeline of our recorded expeditions to Antarctica. It tells you everything. James Weddell, 1824. Charles Wilkes, 1840. Started off as these rational lone expeditions, right? But then all of a sudden we don't go back for nearly 100 years. And when we finally returned, it was with Admiral Byrd's naval expedition known as Operation High Jump. Now tell me, why do you think we would halt expeditions for a century and return with an entire fleet of naval forces if it was just a cold, desolate land with nothing going on? Because this wasn't just another explorative expedition, it was a planned confrontation. Okay, we already knew they were there. We wanted to show up and appear threatening for leverage in a peace treaty. Fast forward, Byrd comes back and, dear God rest his soul, but he passes away no more than about a decade or so later. And if you think that's a coincidence, well, I just don't know what to tell you. Cut to present day. Nobody's allowed down there. Can't even approach the vicinity of the continent. And the Antarctic colony is still thriving as they've been for, God, thousands of years.
Look, how old are these Antarctic colonies? How long have they been around?
Millenniums. Okay, they predate all of our oldest known civilizations combined. Reason being, right, is think about it. During time periods where it's clear humans couldn't exist, such as the Ice Age, they still could. Look, back when our original conquerors discovered our known lands, within the wall, right, they had to first cross over this massive ice terrain, which we know as Antarctica. And so some believe that those who stayed back, who couldn't go any further on that journey, basically learned and adapted to this climate, okay, kind of evolving and adapting over hundreds of years to this region, and thus becoming these modern-day Antarctic colonies, or as I like to call them, the Antarcticians, kind of turning them into what is, in my opinion, the most fascinating people in modern times. They carried over their already existing hierarchical family dynamic, right? They kind of have this draconian sort of leadership, but they have to in order to survive there. Look, I'm going to go ahead and say this is a joke for entertainment purposes only, right, for my safety.